Hey guys! Today we're talking about something super important for all the young entrepreneurs out there. The mistakes that can hold you back from being successful and how to avoid them. Starting a business is exciting, but it is very easy to get tripped up if you're not careful. And trust me, these mistakes are more common than you think. But the good news is you can learn from them and get ahead. So let's dive into it. Jumping into a business without a solid plan. I know it's tempting to just start, but if you don't know where you're headed, how can you get there? A lot of young entrepreneurs get stuck because they don't have a clear direction. So how to avoid it? Sit down and get clear on what you want to achieve on your goals. So the question is, what's your goal? Who are you serving? Write it down and create a business plan. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it should give you a roadmap to follow. And that is very important if you really want to have a clear direction. It's to basically write. It's like writing your emotions because you are having a little difficulty to basically understand what's happening. It's the same thing with a business. If you don't really know where you want to begin in your business, then write a business plan and write your goal or the goal of the business or who are you serving. And that will really help you to have a clear direction of your business. So this is a big one, money management. It is very easy to spend too much or not track where your money is going. And then boom, you're out of cash and the business starts struggling. So how to avoid is basically get into the habit of budgeting early on. Track everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking about expenses, profits, every single thing. If you're not sure how to basically do it, use apps or tools like Excel to help you stay on top of it. Remember, managing your money well is what will keep your business alive. And this is the same thing if you're investing your money, trading your money, etc. It works with everything. Even if you're not someone who is necessarily investing or having a business, tracking your money is always very important because you can see where it goes, why it goes, and by who it goes. So Excel is a pretty good tool. I am also learning it in my business school. At first, it was a bit complicated to understand everything, but when you really want to learn it, if you have for example, a question, you can also ask me because I can also help you with it. But you can also look at, for example, Google or ChatGPT or also on YouTube. They give you so many good examples and they're really, really good tools for you to understand Excel. Because at first, it's a bit complicated, but then it becomes pretty easy. So don't quit. Another mistake is also not researching your market. You might think your idea is amazing, but have you asked if people actually want it or need it? Without understanding your audience or competitors, your product might flop. And do your homework. Talk to people who fit in your target market and make sure there's a real demand for what you're offering. This step is the key to making sure your business takes off. And this is very important. It's for example, we are learning to do, I don't know how it's called in English, but in French it's études qualitatives and études quantitatives. And these are really important because we are learning who we want to target, why we want to target, and why our product is very important and why it would work. So please do your homework. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It takes at least 1 or 2 hours. You really brainstorm everything with, for example, your partners if you are in a group or alone. But it's very easy to do and very important. Look, I get it. You want to be hands-on and that's awesome. But trying to do everything by yourself? That's not good. That's one way to get to burnout. You don't have to be an expert at everything, and that's okay. Find people who can help you, maybe a mentor, a friend, or even an expert in an area you're not strong in. It can also be on Fiverr. You can also search for people that could help you with your work. Don't be afraid to ask for advice or delegate tasks. Working with others can help you grow faster and stay sane, and that's very important. And for example, in my group, we are 5 women who are working on a special product. I'm not going to talk about it because it's private, but soon I will begin 2025 in January or February. We'll have the prototype and everything. But what I want to say by this is basically when you're working in a group, well, there are 2 sides. You have one side where it's pretty easy because you can delegate every task, etc., on every person and stuff. But there is one point where it is a bit complicated. If, for example, you don't have a leader. Having a leader on a group is very important. Why? Because the leader will take the decisions. He will basically take decisions with the group. I'm not talking about the boss that is taking every decisions and that has the biggest ego ever. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the fact that when you have a leader in your group, it is much more easier because usually the leader is someone very organized, is someone also who likes to basically talk with others, who has communication skills, but also emotional intelligence. And that's very important in a group, and also understanding what people might have or have like issues and stuff. And that's why I'm also the leader of the group, because I have all of these skills and I can really explain to them what is a problem, or basically encourage them with this and this, or motivate them, etc. And if you don't really necessarily are in a group and you want to start a business alone, please try to have a mentor or at least a friend, or because it's really important for you to have also a good mindset, to have also to be good on yourself, you know, because we don't want to have this burnout. We don't want this. I know that a lot of entrepreneurs talk about the fact that young entrepreneurs work a lot and then they destroy themselves and they stay till like 5 a.m. working on their business, etc. It's cool. It's really good because we're seeing your motivation. We're seeing that you really want to achieve it. Even myself, I am in this. But we also need to really stay focused on also our health, because this is also very important. I know you want to have this business. I know you want to achieve this freedom, because everyone wants to achieve this freedom, and also at a young age. But please think about yourself and think about your health, because if you go through a burnout, you won't have any motivation. It will be very complicated to get out. So please don't try to stay up at 5 a.m. working on your business. Have a routine. Have people who help you. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of your business, but don't forget, your personal growth is just as important as your business. If you're not developing yourself, your business could stagnate. So basically, make time for learning, read, listen to podcasts like you're doing right now, and invest in yourself. Developing skills like, for example, communication and emotional intelligence will make you a better leader and entrepreneur. And the last one, failure is part of the game. But a lot of teen entrepreneurs give up after they hit their first roadblock. That's a huge mistake. Failure is actually your best teacher if you know how to use it. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to quit, see it as a way to learn. What went wrong? What can you do better next time? If you can bounce back and keep going, you're already heading of most of 97% of people. And today, I saw a video that really got into my mind. I saw a video where 2 entrepreneurs were talking about the fact that 97% of the people quit and just leave it after they basically were into a failure or had a failure. And I was like, why do people do this? Because this is so wrong. When it's like life. We live here to basically learn something. That's just the whole point of living. For example, when you're at school, it's not because you are not understanding something, for example, in math, that you are so dumb, for example. Because that was something I was saying to myself a lot. the past 4 years, I was like, you're so dumb, you don't even know this, you don't even know math, etc. Like, it's so easy. Why is everyone getting it and you're the only one who has like bad marks, etc. And I was like, damn, all of this. So first, you can analyze that I was telling myself so many negative things, and that's really a big mistake. Secondly, you can also analyze that I was basically unmotivating myself. And thirdly, you can also analyze that I was not learning from my mistakes. Why was I always doing the same mistakes? Because I didn't learn from it. And that's the huge mistake I was doing. And that's why I'm telling you, learn from your failure, because it is the best teacher ever. For example, this year, now I'm in troisième. I have 3 years to go till I'm finished with everything. And yeah, this year I had for 30 points a test on math. And I got like a good mark. Usually I get like, for example, let's say 10 out of 30. And I got doubled. A bit more than doubled. But I got doubled. And I was like, damn. Because this time I was like, you got this. And every time I was not understanding something, I would ask the teacher, I didn't understand this. I don't understand the logic in it. I don't understand why we do this. Even the teacher was telling me, sometimes you don't even need to understand math, because math sometimes has no logic. You just need to put this and this together and that's it. I was like, okay, so the one mistake I was doing every time, because I'm like that, is basically I was not understanding something, and I was just pointing at it, and I would not get through it. So I was like, yeah, this is a big mistake, because I was like, yeah, but I don't understanding. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this formula? Like, I don't understand why. And he was like, you don't need to understand why. Just do it. That's it. I was like, huh. And then I did it. I just did the math, did what he told me. I was like, yeah, it works. I'm not dumb. That's also a good thing. But I am just someone who likes to understand things and why we're doing it. And that's good. We don't really need this. Why we need this is to develop our logic. That's why we need it. We don't need to necessarily understand what we are doing or why we're doing this and this. We just need to understand the logic in it. And that's the thing that is important. That's it. And when I began to understand this, to understand my mistakes and my failure, I was like, okay, now I understand why. Now I can be better. Now that I analyze the situation, now I understand why. And now I don't do it anymore because I understood. And that's the same thing with your business. The same exactly thing. So there you have it. The most common mistakes teen entrepreneurs make. Starting a business is a journey. And you're going to learn a lot along the way. By avoiding these pitfalls and stay focused, you'll not only build a successful business. At LJ.Mindset, we are all about helping young entrepreneurs like you turn your ideas into reality. Remember, it's not about avoiding challenges. It's about learning from them and coming back stronger. So let's keep pushing forward, supporting one another, and creating amazing things together. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see what you accomplished. See you next time. Bye.